Do you know what the most dangerous sound in the world is? It's not a gunshot or a bomb or a scream. It's silence. The specific crushing silence that arrives about 5 years after you've made the worst decisions of your life. It's the silence of a phone that doesn't ring with job offers. It's the silence of an empty bank account on a rainy day. It's the silence of a future you were promised, that you can now see was never actually being built. It's the sound of your own potential decaying. And I know that sound intimately, because I lived inside of it for years. This isn't a lecture. This is a confession. I want to talk to you about the difference between enjoying your youth and destroying your future. And I need you to understand, this isn't some theoretical concept. This is the single most important line you will ever walk in your entire life. I walked on the wrong side of it for a long, long time. I confused the two so completely that I almost didn't make it back. I remember being 21. I had this cheap apartment with stained carpets, and it felt like a castle, because it was freedom. No one to tell me when to come home, what to eat, how to live. The world was a buffet of experiences, and I was starving. And my friends and I, we treated time like it was an infinite resource. We'd stay out until 4 in the morning on a Tuesday, fueled by cheap beer and the intoxicating belief that the night was a story we were writing, and that the next day was just a blank, unimportant page we could sleep through. We were kings of the moment. We owned the present tense. The future was some distant, foggy country we'd visit later, when we were old and boring. That's the first lie we tell ourselves. That the future is a separate country. It's not. The future is being built, brick by brick, with every single choice you make today. You are the architect, and you are the construction crew, and you are laying the foundation for a building you will have to live in for the rest of your life. And when you're 21, you're pouring the concrete. You think you can just dance on it, leave your footprints, have a party. You don't realize that the concrete is setting. Those footprints, those beer stains, that chaotic energy, it all hardens. It becomes the base for everything that comes after. And if the foundation is cracked and uneven, the whole structure will be unstable. No matter how beautiful you try to make it later, it will always be leaning, always threatening to collapse. Fun has a price, and I learned this the hard way. I thought fun was my right. It was the reward for surviving school, for dealing with my family, for just being young. But there's a difference between a reward and a ransom. I was paying a ransom with my own time. Every blurry night, every skipped class, every lazy month where my biggest ambition was to find the next party. It wasn't free. It was a loan from my future self, with the most brutal interest rates you can imagine. I was spending time I didn't own yet. I was mortgaging my tomorrows for the thrill of today. And let me tell you, the repo man for that kind of debt doesn't come with a tow truck. He comes in the form of quiet desperation. He shows up as you at 28, looking at your resume and seeing a 10-year gap where your skills should be. He shows up as the envy you feel when you see your peers buying houses, starting families, building things, while you're still trying to figure out how to pay your rent. That's the price. And for a long time, I couldn't afford it. I was bankrupt in every way that mattered. Not everything that feels good today helps you tomorrow. It seems so obvious when you say it out loud. But in the moment, it's the most difficult truth in the world to internalize. Some habits give you memories. Others give you consequences. And the line between them is so fine it's almost invisible. A night of laughter with true friends, that's a memory. It fills your soul. A night of getting blackout drunk to escape the anxiety of a life you're not building, that's a consequence. It empties you. Scrolling for hours, numbing your mind, that's a consequence. It steals your focus and your patience. Drifting from one relationship to another without any real connection, that's a consequence. It teaches you how to use people, not how to love them. I collected consequences like they were souvenirs. I had a whole museum of them inside me. A gallery of bad decisions, a library of regret. Your future self is watching every choice you make. This isn't a metaphor. It's a psychological reality. The person you will become in 10 years is a direct result of the person you are being right now. And that future you, they are a silent witness. They are in the room with you when you hit the snooze button for the 3rd time. They are sitting next to you on the couch as you waste another evening on something that doesn't matter. They are watching you choose the easy path, the comfortable lie, the temporary escape. And they are the one who will pay the bill. They are the one who will have to live with the mediocrity, the struggle, the quiet resentment. I used to think of my future self as some stranger, some upgraded version of me who would have it all figured out. I was wrong. My future self was just me, with less energy, less time, and a mountain of my past mistakes to climb. I was throwing rocks at him from the bottom of the hill, and wondering why he was always so bruised and tired. Freedom without discipline becomes a trap. 1. This is the central paradox of youth. We are given this incredible gift of freedom, and we think it means we can do anything we want. And we can. But the anything is the trap. Without direction, without a purpose, without the discipline to channel that freedom into something meaningful, it turns in on itself. It becomes a prison of your own making. Your freedom to stay up late becomes a prison of exhaustion. Your freedom to spend your money becomes a prison of debt. Your freedom to avoid hard work becomes a prison of incompetence. I was so free. I was chained to my own impulses. I was a slave to my desire for immediate gratification. I had the keys to the entire world, but I'd locked myself in a tiny, dark room because it was comfortable and required no effort to stay there. Don't trade 10 years of regret for 10 minutes of happiness. I did this over and over and over. A moment of validation from someone who didn't matter, costing me years of self-esteem. A night of reckless abandon, costing me opportunities I didn't even know I was passing up. We think these trades are small. We think we're getting a good deal. A few minutes of fun for what? It feels like nothing. But it's not nothing. You are trading a piece of your future. You are bartering with a currency you don't understand the value of yet. It's easy to enjoy today. It's a chemical reaction. Dopamine is cheap and easy to produce. But building tomorrow? That's hard. It's painful. It requires you to say no to the easy thing and yeses to the difficult, invisible work. It requires faith. Faith that the compound interest of your small daily efforts will one day pay out in a life of freedom and meaning. But I can tell you from the other side, only one of them will save you. The easy happiness of today is a life raft that deflates the moment a real storm hits. The difficult work of building tomorrow is an ark. It's what carries you through the flood. Temporary fun can cause permanent damage. We tell ourselves, it's just a phase. I'm young, I'll bounce back. This is what you're supposed to do in your 20s. These are the most seductive and dangerous lies we tell ourselves. Bad habits built when you're young don't stay in your youth. They follow you. They don't follow you as memories. They follow you as chains. A habit of procrastination becomes a lifelong pattern of never quite reaching your goals. A habit of seeking external validation becomes a deep-seated need for approval that sabotages your relationships and your career. A habit of avoiding discomfort becomes a life lived in a very small, safe, and deeply unsatisfying box. I thought I could outrun my habits. I thought when I decided to get serious, I would just shed them like an old coat. But they weren't a coat. They were my skin. I had to tear them off, and it was the most painful thing I have ever done. Your 20s are either a foundation or a funeral. This sounds dramatic. It is. But it's true. It's a funeral for the person you could have been. Most people don't realize which one they're choosing because the funeral is so slow, so quiet. It's not a single event. It's 1,000 tiny surrenders. It's the dream you give up on because it's too hard. It's the skill you don't learn because it takes too long. It's the relationship you don't fight for because it's too messy. It's the death of your potential by 1,000 tiny cuts. And you don't even hear the funeral dirge. It's drowned out by the noise of Netflix and social media and weekend plans. I was at that funeral for years, and I didn't even know I was the one in the casket. I was just wondering why everything felt so hollow, why I felt so numb. Enjoy, but don't escape. This is the crucial distinction. There is a world of difference between taking a break and running away from your responsibilities. A break is intentional. It's a rest stop on a long journey. You pull over, you catch your breath, you admire the view, and then you get back on the road, refreshed. Running away is abandoning the journey altogether. It's seeing a difficult mountain ahead and deciding to just set up camp in the valley forever. Partying can be a break, but for me, it was an escape. Scrolling was an escape. Every distraction was a way to avoid the terrifying, beautiful, and difficult work of building a life. I was a refugee from my own potential. Dreams stay in comfort, not in hard work. We have it backwards. We think struggle is the enemy of our dreams. It's not. Comfort is. Struggle forges you. It strengthens you. It teaches you what you're made of. Comfort anesthetizes you. It puts your ambition to sleep. Partying, scrolling, drifting, it feels harmless. It feels comfortable, but it's a poison. It kills your ambition one day at a time. You don't wake up one day and realize your dreams are dead. You just notice one day that you haven't thought about them in years. That the fire that once burned in your chest has been reduced to a pile of cold gray ash. And you can't even remember when the flame went out. Your future needs you more than your impulse does. Every single decision you make is a vote. It's a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose to study instead of go out, that's a vote for your future. When you choose to save money instead of spend it, that's a vote for your future. When you choose to go for a run instead of sleeping in, that's a vote for your future. And when you choose the opposite, you are casting a vote for your impulse. You are giving power to the part of you that doesn't care about tomorrow. I cast millions of votes for my impulse. I elected a dictator of instant gratification, and he ruled my life with an iron fist. He left my future a barren, desolate place. So, what's the answer? Is it to never have fun? To live like a monk? To grind relentlessly until you're old and rich and too tired to enjoy it? No, absolutely not. That's the other side of the same toxic coin. The answer is in the beautiful, painful, transformative power of discipline. Discipline makes youth beautiful, not because it removes fun, but because it gives you a future worth living. Discipline is what transforms a late night from a destructive escape into a celebratory break. Discipline is what turns a purchase from an impulsive drain into a rewarded saving goal. Discipline is the bridge between the fun of today and the freedom of tomorrow. It's the mechanism that allows you to truly enjoy your youth without destroying your future. It's the difference between being a king of the moment and being the architect of your destiny. When you are disciplined, your fun is intentional. It's earned. It's deeper and more satisfying because there is no guilt, no underlying anxiety, no silent witness of your future self screaming in horror. It is pure. It is free. Youth isn't the time to waste. It's the time to build. This is the ultimate reframe. Your youth is not a vacation from life. It is the most critical, fertile, powerful construction phase of your entire life. This is when you build habits. The neural pathways are still plastic. Build good ones. Build the habit of showing up. Build the habit of finishing what you start. Build the habit of learning. Build skills. Not for a job, but for yourself. Learn to communicate. Learn to create. Learn to solve problems. Learn to be resilient. Build discipline. Pandera way. Build the muscle of doing what you know you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. This is the single most important skill you will ever develop. It is the master skill that makes all other skills possible. Build a life, not the life your parents want for you, or the life society tells you to want. Build a life that your future self will wake up in, look around, and breathe a sigh of profound gratitude. A life they will thank you for. My turning point came in that silence I mentioned. It was a Tuesday afternoon. I was 27. I was hungover, but not from alcohol. From life. I was just hungover from existing. My apartment was a mess. My bank account was negative. My relationships were shallow. And the silence was so loud it was deafening. It was the sound of nothing happening, the sound of a life not being lived. And in that moment, I saw the chain. I saw it clearly for the first time. It was linked together from all those nights, all those excuses, all of those trades of minutes for years. And I realized I was the one who had forged every single link. And if I forged them, I could break them. It wasn't one big dramatic moment. It was a quiet decision. It was choosing to go for a walk instead of watching another episode. It was choosing to read 10 pages of a book before bed. It was applying for one job, even though I was terrified. It was saying no to a party because I had made a commitment to myself. It was casting one small vote for my future, and then another, and another. Each vote was painful. It felt like going against my very nature. It felt like I was betraying the fun-loving, free-spirited person I thought I was. But I came to understand that person was a ghost. They were a construction of my own fear and laziness. The rebuilding was slow. It was like learning to walk again after a long illness. Some days I fell. Some days I cast a vote for the old impulse, and I'd wake up filled with that familiar shame. But I learned to not let one lost battle lose the whole war. I just cast the next vote for my future. And slowly, brick by brick, I started laying a new foundation. It wasn't as flashy as the old one. There were no footprints or party stains. It was solid. It was level. It was strong. And one day, the silence changed. It was no longer the silence of decay. It became the silence of peace. The silence of a morning where I woke up early, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. The silence of a bank account that had a little cushion. The silence of knowing I was capable. The silence of self-respect. I'm not here to tell you I have it all figured out. I don't. I'm still building. I'm still casting votes. But the chain is gone. I'm not dragging it behind me anymore. The funeral is over, and a new building is being constructed on the foundation I finally chose to pour. So, this is my confession, and my plea. Look at your life right now. Listen, Kai. What do you hear? The chaotic, thrilling noise of a life being enjoyed? Or the slow creeping silence of a future being destroyed? You get to choose. The line is right there. It's in the choice between the extra hour of sleep and the morning run. It's in the choice between the impulsive buy and the deposited savings. It's in the choice between the distracting scroll and the chapter of a book. It's in your hands. Your future self is watching you right now. What are you going to show them? A foundation or a funeral? Start building. One brick, one vote, one disciplined choice at a time. Your future self is waiting, and they are praying that you choose wisely.